All right, what's up? AJ's Crypto here, guys. Sorry, I'm late. As you can see, I'm on my shaky wakey MacBook. For whatever reason, StreamYard just would not load on the new computer. I spent, $7,000 on the computer, $1,000 on the Stream Deck stuff, another 7 grand on the camera. It just doesn't work. It worked just fine yesterday, and I did everything normal except when you go to StreamYard, which is what we use to stream. I made the stream, and when I went to go, it just spun and would not load the studio. And I have no idea. I plugged the Wi-Fi in. I did everything. J Change is really good at the tech stuff because he runs Ben's stream, and we're stumped. So sorry I'm late. We're just running the old setup today, which is fine. It's good to have backups. But I was just really excited to stream, with the new setup today, and I only streaming today and tomorrow. So I wanted to do that, and I'm just like, what do I do? You know what I mean? So hey, life's gonna throw you curveballs. So you just got to keep rolling, keep running, do the show, do the damn show. No big deal. I'll figure it out. But yeah, all good. And I'm sorry for keeping you guys waiting. That makes me, that's the worst part for me, is keeping you guys waiting. I hate that feeling. So, amazing. So first off, let me start with the chat. Shout out to all my groggers in the house. Karen Harris, of course, Mike Vollmer, Lee F, Mr. Mojo, Gazer, Mike J, Jokesev, Tokar, Buffalo, Carter, Marcel. Good to see everybody. I do appreciate the names I'm used to seeing, and even a couple new names that I don't see sometimes. So thank you guys for being here. We got about 54 already on YouTube. I think, wow, I didn't get the Twitter on this one. Okay. I'm having myself a day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm having myself a day. So I do want to talk about yesterday, and I want you guys to know exactly where I'm coming from. All right. And obviously there's a chance I'm wrong, which is true, but I feel like a lot of people in TA world don't actually go ahead and say what they really think is going to happen next. And I stared at charts yesterday for 4 hours, and I made a pros and cons list for what looks bullish and what looks bearish. And I also want to start off by saying, yesterday the live stream title was altcoins exploding, because the altcoins did explode. That did happen. All right. And now I'm saying, is October a lie? And I gave my case for why I believe October could be a lie. But that does not mean I'm not the most bullish person in crypto. I am the most bullish person in crypto. I could not be more bullish for what's about to happen. But I also think that everyone's in a hurry. And I also think when everyone thinks something's going to happen, the opposite happens. There was a lot of people talking about Bitcoins in the 30s and 40s going into September. September ended up being a bullish month, which hasn't closed yet. But right now, September is a bullish month. No one saw that coming. No one saw a bullish September. And to be fair, everyone's looking forward to a bullish October. So I'm like, okay, well, let's look at Bitcoin, because really it has everything to do with what Bitcoin's going to do. I made some extra points on some altcoins and some trades like that, which I'll get into as well. But I'm not saying it's over, guys. I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. First of all, join the Telegram group, AJAlpha Group at gmail.com. Take your trade to the next level. We're killing it over there. Absolutely killing it. What I am saying is this. All right. Here is the Bitcoin chart. I'll ignore the oscillators for now. Bitcoin is in a bull flag. All right. And what's a bull flag? A bull flag is where it's just like this. You come up, you make a flag like this, like USA, we got the states. All right. We got the stripes. Okay. Think America, right? Like a flag. All right. And it goes just like this. Let me back this out. Of course, my computer's freezing. Boom. Okay. Now my computer's freezing. This is the worst day of my life. Okay. So we have our flag, right? And in the price action, we're going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, a bunch of times. And eventually it will break out. It should break out. It's a bull flag, pretty high degree of certainty that Bitcoin will eventually break out of this bull flag. But here's my case. There is a chance that Bitcoin does not break out on this push up. There's a chance Bitcoin does not go here. There's a chance Bitcoin turns over this line like it has the past 4 times before it. Okay. And what I'm saying with that, you know what I need to do? I need to kill a bunch of tabs. And this is sad because I have a lot of really good TA on those tabs. But a main reason I got the new computer I got is because the MacBook is freaking me out sometimes. And it goes slow and it freezes on me mid-show. And I play it off really well. But today I'm just wearing my heart on my sleeve. And I'm just keeping it real. So just give me a second to kill these tabs because it's messing me up. And of course I will get to my point, I promise. I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself lately. I'm not gonna lie. Writing this course for Gareth Soloway thing, and really trying to. I'm really burning the candles at both ends right now, and it's just hitting me today. Of course, like frustrating with this stuff not working, and not everyone's gonna hear me out on my bear case here, but that's fine. But I do want you guys to keep an open mind, because if I'm right about Bitcoin rolling over, it's one of those deals where it's not like I'm telling people to sell their altcoins. It's not like I'm telling people, okay, got it going. It's not like I'm telling people, hey, sell everything. That's not what I'm saying. I think my actual stance on if Bitcoin does roll over with my altcoin bags, if you're ultimately selling at $1, does it matter that much if you bought at 18 instead of 15, or at 15 cents instead of 12 cents? If you buy at 9, at 12, at 30, at 18, and you sell at $1, this is all just timing. And that's really what I'm talking about here. And just the timing of what is happening. All right, when we go back to the chart, is that basically my case here is that, yes, we are in a bull flag. Do I think Bitcoin is going to break up and out of this bull flag and put in a new all-time high eventually? Yes, I do, 100%. But I think Bitcoin, you see how there's these sharp angles here. All right, what do I mean by that? Look at how sharp these moves are up. 57% angle, a 62% angle. All right. 67% angle, 70% angle. That's a really sharp move. 71% angle. You get my point. So these are really sharp moves up. And anytime in normal TA, when we're looking at like an altcoin that just ripped really hard, we're looking at that angle and we're like, whoa, this is going too fast, too high, too fast. It's going to turn around. And look at the time from this bottom to this top, 21 days. This bottom to this top, no, to the first top, 20 days. And then it turned around and then went back to the top. This bottom to this top, 23 days. And then this bottom to this top, 20 days. So between 25, 20 days, 23 on average, is how long these individual pumps inside the bull flag last. All right. And right now we are on day 19. We're on day 19. So in the next week, it is very likely that Bitcoin rolls over and comes down. Am I saying bull run over? Am I saying I'm an ultra bear sell everything? Absolutely not. I'm just saying it's likely that Bitcoin rolls over and maybe does some of the flopping and groping and eventually breaks out. Everyone gets real excited when their bags start to pump, and I get that, but you need to chill on that. Those people are the most emotional traders, and those people are probably not going to make any money because they're thinking with their hearts instead of their brains. All right. So my case here is also Bitcoin has not put in a higher high. And every one of these waves down on this bull flag, this one lower than this one lower than this one lower than this one, this one. You get, it's been going lower, low, lower, low, lower, low. All right. The difference this time is that this wick came down here. We actually put in a higher low, structurally speaking, for the first time. This higher low is good. This higher low is good. And I would actually really like to maybe even see that continue. What if we, started a little trend line like this from the higher low, right? And what if Bitcoin rolls over and still respects this new angle from the higher low? That could put us to 54, could put us to 57, depending on how long it takes for it to happen. But look how sharp these angles are coming down. Also a various amount of sharp angles down. So I would imagine maybe Bitcoin will come like down here, maybe 57, 58, and then maybe continue up. Because what we're looking for here is the higher high. Bitcoin has to break 65,000. All right. And I would say a lot of this idea gets invalidated if Bitcoin breaks 65,000. But at the same time, Bitcoin, there is a case where Bitcoin does break 65,000 and I'm still right. I could still be right if Bitcoin breaks 65,000 because we do have a lower high right here. But say it pops up and then rolls over. Basically, I am right unless Bitcoin breaks out of this bull flag in the next 2 weeks or so. My whole thesis here is that Bitcoin's going to roll over and then eventually break out. But the rollover is the part that I'm predicting. And, I'm stepping out on a limb here and I'm saying, I think this is what's going to happen. I've done it. I called the local high in March on Twitter. I said, this is probably the local high. Don't take your profits. Enjoy them. Called it. I called the head and shoulder move on FET in the past couple of weeks. I called the move on SWE. I called the move on PopCat. I called the move on Phantom. I called the cup and handles earlier in the year. I've been making some pretty ridiculous calls in crypto. And I see this stuff. I see it coming. And every time, everyone's just like, you're the worst. Who are you? Blah, 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 blah. Unless I'm saying, hey, it's going to pump, people hate me. But that's fine. Because I would rather be the person that you need to hear rather than the person that you want to hear. Does the person you want to hear get more views, get more attention, get more things? Yes, because they're co-signing your bullshit. They're airplane spoon feeding you what you want to hear so you feel good. I pat people on the back when they deserve a pat on the back. But if I think something's up, if something smells fishy, I'm like, guys, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to keep it real with you. And people get mad like, hey, like, why is your price prediction only a 6x? I'm like, well, do you realize what it would take for it to 7x? Like, I always play the devil's advocate. And does that hold me back? Maybe. But I'd rather be completely, thoroughly honest than lie. I'm not going to lie to you guys. All right. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. We've all been wrong. It happens. But this is one that I am willing to go ahead and say Bitcoin really needs to break 65,000. Guys, I want to be wrong here. I want Bitcoin to break 65,000, creep up, hold support resistance, and break out of the bull flag. That's what I want to happen. But when you get into technical analysis, structurally speaking, the timing is coming. Structurally speaking, with the lower highs, it does make sense. There is volume down here at 60,900. Let's look at market Cipher. 6-hour chart. Oh, whoa. What do we got here? Look at this creation. What is this? We got a anchor wave, trigger wave, trigger wave, trigger wave, fresh red dot printed on the 6-hour. This is going this way. Now let's put a little blip right here on the chart. Now look straight up from this point. Oh, okay. So this is the last wave. Okay. That is when this came down. A lot of momentum wave here. Okay. Right here. And look at where we were on the momentum wave. Here, let me scoot this over. My head might be in the way. My head is in the way. Okay. 1 second. I'll just go like this for a minute. All right. We were at the top of that momentum wave. and we printed a red dot at the top of that wave. We came down, 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 right? And then we bottomed out again, all right? And really from right here, if you pull this up, do you see how the price right here is going down and how the oscillators right here are the same? This is called an exaggerated divergence, which is kind of deep down the rabbit hole, but it kind of just signifies it's sort of like a hidden divergence in the world of continuation. Because if you kind of go from a little bit after that point, you see how Bitcoin continued to fall. And then it printed this new green dot, this new very large momentum wave. And then the further we go down, the good thing is the further we go down on momentum, the harder we come back up. I did the thing when I accidentally opened the dictionary. Okay, great. Thank you, Webster's. All right. So, and that kind of caused this new pump. All right. And we were in the red coming into the green, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So at that point, we're coming up the hill, and the oscillator, anchor wave, trigger wave is going down. And kind of the giveaway here is, remember when I talked about this momentum wave? Well, do you see how these ones are lower than this one? That is a sign of weakness, is what it is. It's a sign of weakness. It's likely not going to, unless it just prints in here and comes up, which is pretty unlikely. Also, big hammer candle here, dead giveaway for reversals. There is a big bear case for the argument that Bitcoin's not going to break out from here, because basically at the end of the day, oscillator removed, structurally speaking, nothing matters until Bitcoin breaks out of the bull flag. We can all agree on that, right? Magic's not going to happen without Bitcoin getting above previous all-time high, which would be this line right here. Unless Bitcoin breaks this line, it needs to break out of the bull flag, and then it needs to break out of there and go higher high, higher high, higher high. When that happens, we all party. We get rich. All our alt bags pump. But the road to the top is never just a nice paved road to the top. It is going to flop and grope and flop and grope and be impossible. It's going to try to convince you that you're wrong. All right. So when it does this, and everything takes a little dip, which would not surprise me at all, I'm going to say, hey, remember that video I made and everybody hated me? Well, I'm glad I made that video. All right. So, and I would really like to see Bitcoin come down, but still hold this trend line. That is also very important, because structurally speaking, we could maybe start to form a new uptrend. Say Bitcoin comes down, comes to here, then comes up to here, maybe gets rejected from all-time high, comes back in the trend, and then comes out like that. That would be forming a broadening, ascending channel out of the the bull flag. And that would make a lot of sense. But for that to happen, it has to come back down ultimately and test this trend line. Okay. So it's a combination of structure, it's a combination of volume, it's a combination of timing, and a combination of momentum. All right. I actually had a really interesting conversation. Shout out to Big Pay in the chat. Amazing. Oh, cool. Big Pay gifted 5 memberships. Very nice. Big Pay, we need to catch up, bro. We need to catch up. We have not talked since Rare Evo. I blame you. We're both really bad at texting, to be fair, but maybe I'll give you a call later. I totally just lost my train of thought. Thanks a lot, Big Pay. You ruined everything. But I don't know. I'm not saying sell your bags. I'm not saying it's the end of the world, but we have to consider structure, guys. We're on day 19 on an average of 23 days. So maybe this weekend we roll over. It's possible. It's very possible. I'm just telling you what I feel. I'm just keeping it real. I don't want to be right. I really don't. Shout out to Big Pay for gifting the AJ Wrights Crypto memberships. We are going to do members only stream tomorrow. I'm I don't know what time yet because I know I have a space with Mario, and I'll have to get back to you on that. I'll let you know tomorrow. I'll do the normal stream tomorrow because Thursday and Friday, I'm going to Maryland this weekend. See my family, see the new puppy. Um, I had a really, really good friend of mine who passed away. I'm really involved with his son's life, and his son has a big football game, so I'm going to be there for that. Um, and going to ride dirt bikes, kind of press reset for a minute. I do have content coming. I will still make content while I'm there. We're going to see Under Oath in Philly on Thursday. I think I'm most excited about that. Under Oath is one of my favorite bands. They're playing They're Only Chasing Safety, which is in my opinion, their best album, unless you're really into Define the Great Line, which is also a great album. But yeah, just gonna go enjoy my time. Don't gotta work every day. I do appreciate Crypto Stone $5 super chat with that portfolio in it. Very cool. Very cool. The members only vids are full. Yeah, I do like doing members only streams because the members only streams are directly aimed at the Telegram group. And in the Telegram group, I don't post every single day. If I don't post, that's kind of a sign of the trading conditions are not good. I don't know if anybody watched Crypto Face's stream last night. I sure did. He was short, and I was like, I'm with you on the short, but it could flop and grope. And then he revenge traded long, and then it went bad, and he was down like 20 grand. And then I think he left the trade open and went to sleep and woke up cutting about even on the night. So big shout out to Crypto Face. I think I'm doing an interview with him for the channel tomorrow. So Crypto Face, we'll probably see a video on this channel with me and Crypto Face probably Saturday or Sunday. I also am working on a SWE price prediction. I know a lot of people have really been in the SWE. I've really been in the SWE. I'm so glad I bought a lot of SWE at like 75, 80 cents in that range. Yeah, that one's been doing really good. And I don't want to see it come down, but we are going to make a case for that as well. But yeah, going to be a good time. Big shout out to Big Pay. I thought I missed a super chat. Maybe I did not. Okay, Johnny Watchman, welcome to the Grogger Gang. Thank you for joining. I do appreciate you. Is SWE going to pull back now? I think that's something we can look at. But I do want to touch on something. Of course, all my stories that I had pulled for the show were on my other computer. And then my other computer said, no, we're not doing this. Although you did all these things. Okay, well, that's a story. Oh, wow. Really? Is this so? Cryptocurrencies are not securities, admits SEC commissioner. Oh, Hester Pierce. I love her. I love her so much. She is amazing. She mentioned she actually spoke at Bitcoin Nashville. Oh my God. Before I get into the story, Hester Pierce at Bitcoin Nashville. Oh my God. I was like kind of excited. I was like, this is Gary's nemesis. This is the woman who went out and publicly put our job on the line. I was like, no, Gary, you're wrong. Fuck you, Gary. You know what I mean? And I was like, Hester in the back. And then I was like, oh, she's speaking at Bitcoin Nashville. She's going to talk all this shit. You know what I mean? And then she's like, yeah, we'd be open to having conversations about talking. I was like, what the fuck is happening? They literally had a conversation talking about having a conversation about digital assets. They literally said, oh yeah, we could organize that and have a conversation about digital assets. And I'm like, wait, aren't you supposed to be having a conversation? Sorry. Yeah. So in the in-person, not impressive, but I do like Hester. Overall, she has stood up openly against Gary Gensler and has been the voice of reason during the tyranny of the SEC's equivalent of Adolf Hitler. And so the SEC should have admitted long ago that crypto tokens are not securities. That is badass. This is today's story. It's a good thing about going streaming a little bit later in the day. You get the stories for today, not yesterday's story. Unless they break in the morning, which happens sometimes. But yeah, good. Shout out to Hester Pierce, man. That's really cool. I'm glad that they're finally admitting that. That's really good to see. But wait, hold on. There is another story that I'm looking for. Okay, here it is. Because Crypto Face during his stream last night was talking about how China, you know how we're doing like interest slashes. Essentially, that's what he was saying, that China is doing the same thing as we are. And there's a new stimulus package from China that could be extremely bullish, pushing crypto forward. We know the Chinese markets that trade extremely late at night when we're sleeping, the Chinese are trading, the Asian markets. All right. And this new stimulus package is pretty like juicy for their economy. I feel like it's not just America going into a phase of quantitative easing, but I feel like kind of the world is going into a phase of quantitative easing. I think the whole world's turning the money printer back on. And macro, of course, this is really bullish. I'm just saying, I think the next week is going to suck. That's all I'm saying. If Bitcoin rolls over, that's all it comes down to. The People's Bank of China announced substantial economic stimulus package injecting 140 billion with a B in liquidity. Analysts, including Jamie Coots from Real Vision, believe that China's stimulus measures will have a bullish effect on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's price is demonstrating resilience, nearing potential breakout, currently testing the upper trend line of a bull flag pattern. Well, it's actually testing the higher high of a bull flag pattern. Thank you. And so this is the higher high. The upper trend line is actually all the way up here. So get your shit right. Whatever website you are, coinspeaker.com. But yeah, so and besides, it also announced to cut the reserve requirement ratio, the RRR, by a good 50 basis points. That's what Crypto Face talked about last night. I was unaware of the stimulus package until this morning. This is the largest PBOC stimulus package since the onset of the pandemic. However, it may not be sufficient on its own, he added, suggesting that additional fiscal stimulus might be required to steer growth back towards this year's official target around 5%. So, it's not just America. This is a global thing. Very bullish story coming out of China here. That story coming out after my Bitcoin rollover thesis might be what throws a wrench into that story. And guys, like, I want to be wrong. I want it to go up. Like that's what people miss about me, man. Like I want everyone to always look at the other side of the fence and like set alarms and react to the market. Like I said, hey, set an alarm at 65,000. Some of this idea could be invalidated if Bitcoin breaks 65,000. So I'm telling you, set an alarm at 65,000. If that alarm goes off, you can react to the market and win a trade. It's not about like, I'm right, you're wrong. That's not me. That's not my vibe. I don't do that. I'm just saying I want to actually look out for everybody. And so you guys are aware of where to set alarms so you can react to the market. That is literally my job. All right. We got a super chat from Sicko Land for his portfolio reading. I will take a screenshot of that. Thank you for the super chat. And I will do all the portfolios at the end of the show. All right. Let me add that to the photos here. Bang, bang, bang. We also got another super chat for Stephen Forvan. AJ, do you think CRO will have a good run? That's certainly something we can look at. But first, before we look at CRO, there is a chat in the chat. Lee F. Is Sui going to pull back now? And Lee F. is a mod on the show. So I am going to do my best to answer his question. I'll pull this tab up right here. So it's kind of like unmarked SWE levels. I got to pull these a little over here. All right. And so let's kind of look at the anatomy here. SWE, man. Oh man, this one, I made a lot of money on SWE this month, guys. Ridiculous. And so now it's in this uptrend. All right. We kind of had, and then this nice rounded bottoms pay the bills, ladies and gentlemen. Nice rounded bottom right there. And you can already kind of see it forming on the oscillator. So let's click on, we're on the 2-hour chart for the sake of argument. And do you see how right here, all right, we kind of got this curvature like this, and look at the money flow curvature like this. All right. To be fair, this did print and is pushing up the VWAP and a new momentum wave right now on the 2 hour. All right. So what could happen? This could go like this and kind of complete the lower lows on the oscillator. Because what people don't realize is that you look at an oscillator just like you look at a chart. There can be a head and shoulders or an inverse head and shoulders on an oscillator. There could be, like higher lows, lower highs, bearish divergences, hidden divergences, bullish divergences, exaggerated divergences. There's a lot to see on an oscillator. And you really, really got to pay attention, because this is like the momentum. Think of this as like the ocean, the tides of the ocean. So when you see this starting to put in lower lows, let me kind of scoot this over. I know my head's on the right. Once you start to see these kind of lower lows like this, and as the price is putting in higher highs, as it's putting in lower highs, and this is putting in higher highs, it's diverging from what the price action's doing. So we do really got to keep a close eye on that. In the same breath, it is good to see that SWE, it had this little high right here. All right. And that alarm did go off. It has flopped and groped around. We're on the 2 hour. It has gone up, come down, and it's gone up, and it's only 0.38 above that alarm right now. It did go 2.5% above that alarm. So really, and it also put in a new higher high here. And remember, everybody, it is at the top of this up channel. Like we can't forget the scenario it's in. And if we kind of use these as reference, all right. So, I mean, kind of to continue my thesis here, we also got to appreciate that SWE from where it August 5th to now, it pumped 252% in 50 days. That's not even the higher high. The higher high is 269, 270% pump. It's a little bit lower than the higher high right, than the highest high right now. I mean, guys, when something pumps 250%, in less than 2 full months, we have to expect it's going to take a breather at some point. Even if it keeps going, even if it pumps 900 more percent from here, we have to be willing to say, okay, it might give 30% back. So what does that look like? What does that look like? Let's keep in mind, it is at the top of this uptrend. All right. And let's look for support resistance levels like we have. There's this support resistance level right here. All right, there, once we kind of come into the chart, and when you pull the volume profile up with SWE, a lot of this happened as fast as it did. I mean, look at the volume profile between this range here, between $1.10 and $1.42. Look, it just went whoop, because there wasn't anything to catch it. There was no liquidity to suck up. And this was the previous ceiling, right? Once it broke through that ceiling, had a little fight right here, boom. It just popped right up to the next value area. So we can, there is a couple levels where it kind of flopped and groped, like right here, which really aligns with that little volume spike right there. And also this little volume spike right here, flopped and groped there for a little bit too. But ultimately, SWE moved through that level really fast. So you have to kind of say to yourself, okay, we're starting to see bearish divergences form on the 2 hour. Is SWE going to put in a higher high, which would be breaking this level here? That alarm is at 164.9, a little bit under 165. And then we also have this previous level right here from this high right there. And that alarm is, oh, my computer's freezing, this damn MacBook. This alarm is at 157.4. So right now, I would conditional range SWE between 165 and 157.5. All right. And in the event on, say, I'm looking at the 30-minute, pull into the 12-minute. In the event on the 12-minute chart that this alarm goes off and SWE closes underneath the 50 EMA, I think that could make a pretty good argument to go short. Not to mention, even on the 12-minute, we do have a bearish divergence forming right there. So, it has been sort of in a tight range. It's in a little box right here. If you kind of look at, from even this little box right here before it popped out, it's been over a day and 8 hours inside of a 4% range. And when things start to range like that, it's kind of a signal of market exhaustion in my mind. And even if you wanted to connect the most recent lows this white line right here. I mean, that's a relevant trend line. This thing has 3 touches. 1, 2, 3. I would draw that line on the 12-minute chart from the 22nd of September to the 24th, and the 2 touches today. And if say SWE comes down, closes below, and breaks down from this trend line, hey, that would be a more than safe case to short, especially if it's closing underneath the EMAs. Not to mention there is volume down here at 148, and I mean SWE could really fall down to 144, 142 and still be above this range. Like, you're still a big time above that volume profile. Things don't really get scary for SWE unless it loses 144. If SWE loses 144 or even 140, if you want to like kind of draw the line at this one, I'll make it yellow so you get it a little bit more. If you want to draw the line here and say 139, because that would kind of be the edge of that big low volume node, because we don't want to see SWE come back through this low volume node, because it will happen just as fast as it came up. We want to see SWE kind of maybe either go up from here, which it very well could, or come down 130, 140, flop and grope, and then eventually break out. We don't want it to go under like 138, or that would be really pushing it into that low volume node, which would send it down just as fast as it got sent up. So those are the levels I would alarm for SWE at the moment. And so I did have a call yesterday with one of my premium Telegram group members, and we had a really good conversation about technical analysis. And I'll give it to this guy. He really has been doing his homework. He's been buying several TA books, just whatever he can find on Amazon that says day trading or technical analysis on it, or books that other people have suggested. He's buying them and reading them. And that is totally the spirit. It's awesome to see people putting in that kind of work, saying, you know what, I watch this stuff on YouTube, I pay for these groups, but I'm still going to go out there and find more information and read these books and he's taking courses too. And that's the spirit. That's what everyone should be doing. Your education is your success. How the more you study, the more you're going to win. I remember my high school football team. I didn't play football, but my team, like my classmates, our coach was like a really good coach. I hated him, but he was a good coach. And when I was in high school, my school won multiple like football championships and stuff. And on the gym, right outside the doors of the gym, it said, championships are built in here. As in, the game, you don't win the game on Sunday. You win the game leading up to the preparation of the game. And I could not agree with that analogy more with trading. You are going to win your trades in your preparation, in how much you study and how much you learn and what you pay attention to, and being able to determine what information is helping me, what information is not helping me. For instance, there are some trading strategies that I ignore because they kind of cross the line of they're kind of they're a detriment to my strategy. So you have to be also willing to say, nah, I want to work with this and not work with that, because this is, I'm going to go ahead and say this. Technical analysis is not as hard as some people on YouTube make it out to be. It's not like this insane thing. It's hard. It's a lot. But once you get it, you get it. All right. And some people, like the gatekeeper type people, are like, oh, you'll never understand. Blah, blah, blah. They're just saying that shit so you keep listening to them. I want to keep it real with you. Technical analysis is a combination of patterns, candlestick patterns, volume, momentum oscillators like stochastics, RSI, MACD, market cipher, stuff like that. Bollinger Bands, EMAs or SMAs. I already said volume. And that's it. Like, that's basically it. So and it's really about finding the combination of the EMAs, of volume, of oscillators, of patterns, and the confluence of those things that works for you. Did I really simplify that in the most elementary way possible to get my point across? Yes. Is technical analysis complicated? Of course it is. But it's not like this unbeatable game. It's really not. There's a reason the same traders keep winning and the same people keep losing, because the other people have an edge. This is a game. It's a game you play. And when you play games, it's pretty, you kind of blitz right through Grand Theft Auto when you get the cheat codes, right? Some people have the cheat codes, and not cheat codes as in they're doing something nefarious, cheat codes as in they have an edge on the market. And when it's really having a solid foundation, knowing the pennants, knowing the flags, knowing the odds of something breaking out of a descending triangle, knowing that stuff, pairing that with volume, pairing that with momentum, pairing that with EMAs, SMAs, whatever. It's all a combination, the confluence of those things. So a lot of strategies that I found from even like old school stock market guys, you'd be surprised, has everything to do with the 50 EMA. Has everything to do with the 50 EMA. They're just looking at larger time frames, where I use the 50 EMA on smaller time frames for scalping. But like, it's not this impossible thing. It's just this repetition thing. And this, like if you have a test for whatever class in college, right? And you just read your notes once, or you don't study at all, you're going to do terrible. But if you take detailed notes and you go over them 100 times and you know it from back to front and front to back, you're going to ace the test. Crypto is a test that is aceable. I have an A on the test. My friends have an A on the test. I know a lot of people that get an A on this test. And those are the people that are going to make it. It has everything to do with preparation. Everything to do with preparation. And I really did get a lot of that conversation. So big shout out to my guy from the group. You know who you are. All right. We're back. Sweet. Got over 160 people in the house. Thank you to each and everyone if you're being here. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh yeah, CRO, that's right. Okay. I'm with you. CRO. Bang, bang, bang. Bang. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Bang. All right. I haven't looked at this chart in a while, so give me a second. So we're looking at the daily here. This is not the entire chart. At least I don't think so. So it did have a really big fall. Yeah, I remember how, it was almost to $1, right? Yeah. Okay. And then it had this big fall. So I really would be interested to know what happened to the tokenomics here. Let me head over here. CRO. Bang. Please load. You can do it. All right. Boom. All right. 45 by market cap. 8 cents. Almost 8.5 cents. Circulating supply. Almost 27 billion. And the total supply is 30 billion. So the tokenomic situation for the most part is over. The worst is over. Very large percentage of that supply is in circulation, which is really good moving forward. I would be interested to head over to Masari here. I really like Masari. It's a really good tool. I don't pay for it or anything, but I do end up on this website a lot. CRO. Boom. Definitely check out Masari.io. MESSARI.io. Really good place to, kind of do your homework on coins. They have research, charts, everything you want to know. Really good website. Ryan Selk is a really cool guy too. 97 cents all-time high, November 24th, 2021. So November 24th, 2021. Market cap. So now here you go to coin market cap historical. All right. Go to view all. Reject cookies. Come out here to 2021. November. Let's go with 21st because that was right before the all-time high. Bitcoin's market cap was over $1 trillion. It still is, but yeah, that's cool. Ethereum was 4,200 and Solana was only 231. Wow, this is a weird time. And here we are, crypto.com. Right here, circulating supply 25 billion. Wow. Is this 2021? Yeah. 25 billion crypto.com. So really the supply has not grown that much from where we are now. I kind of thought, yeah, that definitely says 25 billion, not million. Wow. Okay. So essentially the supply only grew what, almost 2 million, not even, you know? And so when we go back to which I have so many tabs pulled up. Which one is the CRO? When we go back to the CRO chart here, I have too many tabs pulled up again. Okay, here we go. Understand that this fall from grace here had everything to do with market cap and nothing to do with the supply really draining. And that's actually really good for upside because, even that day, the market cap for crypto.com was 18 billion. It was 13th by market cap at that point in time, which is extremely impressive. So let's go to the coin perspective really fast. And then I will go to crypto.com. I'll copy the circulating supply that it currently is. Go to the coin perspective, share this tab instead. Go to CRO. Boom. Obviously, it's going to take a second to load, but I like kind of doing these little deep dives. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Of course, this thing's not going to load for me. I'm trying to make a point here, crypto perspective. I'm trying to give a crypto perspective. Here, let me go to the beginning again. All right. CRO. Load. All right. Well, it's not loading for me, of course. We tried. I was just trying to see if we got its previous market cap from even that day before its all-time high, with the supply it has now, how high it would be. Because basically, long story short, this is not a supply issue. This chart coming down as far as it did had nothing to do with the supply doubling or tripling. The supply has not grown that much since its all-time high to now. So crypto.com certainly has that upside if it's able to get back into, the 10, 50, to the $15, $18 spot, market cap. So we do got to consider, all right, let's think like best case scenario here. Could this thing get back to $1? Could this thing get back to, let me go to like a daily chart. And I also kind of want to pull some support resistance levels because really this thing had a really sharp move down. It kind of had this higher lows. It had a bear pennant right here. And like I said on the video yesterday, you see how this was putting in lower highs and higher lows. So a pennant has everything to do with the direction it came from. So if the pennant is like this and the price is coming down and then forms the pennant, it's very likely to break down. But if the price is coming up and then forms the pennant and it does, higher lows, lower highs like it did right here, it's likely to break up. A pennant has everything to do with the direction it came from before. So we had this, kind of really bad pennant happen down here. And you can kind of make this connection with the volume because look at like this big giant gap in the volume profile. All right. And Crow at 25 cents. I mean, that's smack down in the middle of that. And there's kind of like this no man's land here because from the 2024 high, Crow did go to about 18 cents, a little over 18 cents. And that kind of, let me pull this up just a little bit so I get on that wick. And that kind of covers the base of these hiccups here when it was coming down the hill. So there is certainly this no man's land in the middle of the CRO chart where it only spent, this day or so plunging through this price. So really that certainly aligns with the 2024 high. So in the event CRO can get past this level, it's probably going to rocket ship an additional 36% to 25 cents, which is this little floor here. and say CRO, first of all, to reclaim 2024 high, that would be 118%, 119%. And to get to that level would be 195% to get to a quarter. All right. And then when you consider these little levels here from the way down, 32 cents, there's one here at 35 cents, another bigger one up here at 37 cents. You know, kind of just SR your way across the top, 50 cents even, that would be a really big target, because the truth is there is no volume between 18 cents and 25 cents. This right here is no man's land. Nothing but desert and crows. All right. So Crow's job is to beat that 2024 high. And if it does, it's going to be rewarded by an extra 30% pump because there's no volume there. So that's my breakdown on CRO. If you want like a right now kind of thing here, let me take a quick look. I don't really think CRO has like leverage volume, so I'm not really going to focus on that too much. But I will say, oh, he still got my brush on. One sec. I can't wait to fix my new computer. Jesus. Take like a 6 hour. So locally, it kind of has these, it kind of reminds me of XRP a little bit, right? It has like these really long lulls where it's like boring, 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 and now it's like boring, boring, when, and that's certainly important. This support resistance level is extremely important, and it was respected, which is really good to see right here. 7 cents. It did put in a higher low. Okay. And it is also, it needs to really break out of this type idea. So we do have a little pennant idea. A symmetrical triangle is forming. It is coming from the down, which would make it likely to break down, more likely to break down, but it doesn't mean it couldn't break out. This is certainly not, I mean, no, that doesn't make sense. Or if you went, this computer is really slow. Kind of draw it from here. Yeah, you could draw it from there and kind of make out, if you kind of ignore the pennant and kind of make out the, yeah, I would say it's very close to breaking out. Actually, like popped up and popped down. And the daily chart is pretty close to crossing on the EMA as well. So locally, what I would say, and if you kind of want to see this crooked little head and shoulders, you could inverse head and shoulders, you could make that out. I would draw this neckline like this. Blam, 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 blam. Boom. Bam. And that would be 12-3 target, 47% move. So, but anytime the shoulders are slanted, you do draw the neckline sideways and connect like the lines there like that. So keep that in mind if you're going to interpret this as an inverse head and shoulders, which you certainly can. It's just a little crooked. So seriously, it really needs to break that previous high at, I'm just going to call it 9 cents, 8.96. And then this level here at 9 1/4. And then obviously local high in July is 10.3, and breaking that would really set it on fire. And that's 22% up the hill, because then that's kind of in the middle of a volume volume node, and that would kind of cruise you back up into this range. And it would make a lot of sense. You see the volume profile now, how it's curved out right there. And it would make a lot of sense because this is kind of like the heart of the range right here. Like what I like to do, I like to ignore some of the, like when I look at a chart, I kind of look at things in like, where's the most range? Like I kind of like ignore like the outliers, like this right here. You see how I'm like ignoring the times it bounced down or bounced out? I'm really looking at like the heart of that range, right? And if you kind of align that with this, right, doesn't that make a lot of sense? Because there's a big volume spike right there. So it would make a lot of sense once CRO, bull crosses here, which it very well could, for CRO to return at least to that level at 12 cents. It'd be a 51% pump. So there's a lot of bullish ideas with CRO. We gotta hope the pennant doesn't play out. We gotta hope that it breaks out and crosses EMAs, which is certainly possible. AJ, do you have a video or recommendations on where to start learning TA? Well, do I have the guy for you? He wears a silly red hat sometimes. He's sponsored by Market Cipher. He's an award-winning influencer. His computer doesn't work. His name's AJ Writes Crypto. You're listening to him right now. He has a Telegram group where you actually get to look at the exact charts he uses to trade his personal trades almost every day. I do have instructional YouTube videos on how to use all the indicators that I use on my screen, on how to trade on PHEMEX, which you should do. And I am currently writing a 16-hour trading course with Gareth Soloway. I will be like kind of the face of verified investing. Wait, when did that start? Oh, okay. I thought it was at 12:30. Hold on. I might have to run. Okay, fuck. Well, I just messed up. I have a space with Mario Naufel, and I thought it was at 12:30. It's at 12, which is now. So the portfolios. I did screenshot everything. Come back tomorrow. I will do them first thing in the morning. Karen, timeline with Gareth is the hope is to record it before Christmas. If not, it's going to be recorded early January. We would like to record it before Christmas so we can put it out in January. But if we film it on the other side of Christmas, it'll probably come out in February. I would like to expedite the process and get it out because 2025 is the year, and that would be the year to take a crash course on trading. And that is like literally like my book that I'm writing. I think it would be better served in a course. So I'm kind of performing my book is essentially the idea here. So there you go, guys. I do got to go. I'm very sorry for cutting the show short, but it has been 57 minutes. We're good on that. But I do have to do the space. I said I'd do it, and I feel really bad because I'm already late. So, guys, don't be late for your engagements. My name's AJ Writes Crypto. Subscribe to the channel. Like the button on the way out the door. I'd really appreciate it. Make sure you sign up for the Telegram group. Send me an email at ajalphagroup@gmail.com. I'll show you this little logo right here. I'm already late at this point. Might as well show the logo off, right? Didn't even press the button. What am I doing over here? There you go. We win. We've been doing a lot of winning over there. I'm very proud of that group. Very proud of all the traders in it. We've been making some serious progress, and we do it one day at a time, guys. One day at a time. AJ Writes Crypto. Get rich or get wrecked.